Hey, it's Ben. How are you doing? Okay, so today is interesting because I want to talk about the one huge mistake that I made when I first started experiencing anxiety and panic attacks. And I can pretty much guarantee that at one point you likely made this mistake or you are still making this mistake right now today. The reason I want to share this with you is so that you can just stop making this mistake and start to move beyond it because where you currently are, if you are making this exact same mistake that I made, there is no way in heck that you're ever going to get done with it. And I know, I apologize for the nasty language. Okay, so what I want to show you is this. Blaming other people. Blaming other people for your anxiety. Blaming other people for your stress, for your panic attacks. As if someone, this person or these people had the ability to go inside of you and make you feel a specific thing. The truth is that for you to ever get done with anxiety and panic and difficulties and challenges in any area of your life, whatever it is, even if it's anxiety or panic or not, is you need to accept responsibility for the way that you feel and for your reactions and responses to your environment and to other people. I want to repeat that, but slightly differently worded. For you to ever make any change, for you to ever feel better about things, for you to ever move beyond anxiety, beyond panic, beyond stress, beyond difficulty and challenge, you need to 100% completely and totally, fully accept responsibility for the way that you feel, the way that you react, and the way that you respond to the things in your life, to your environment, to the people in your life. No one at all has the ability to go inside of you and make you feel anxiety or panic or difficulty or challenge or anything. Nobody has that ability. However, if you give someone permission to control how you feel, you're giving them the opportunity to pull your strings. The big deal here is that when you accept responsibility for how you feel and for how you respond, for how you react, and for what goes on inside of you and your behavior, then you have the ability to pull your own strings. You have the ability to create the things that you want in life. You have the ability to create the behaviors and do the things that you want in life. But guess what? Until you accept responsibility 100% completely and totally for what's going on inside of you, until that point, you will continue to struggle with anxiety and panic. Period. It is just that simple. As an individual, you have no choice but to accept these things. For me, one of the biggest things that I used to do was I was in a relationship, a business and a personal relationship with someone, and I was constantly blaming that person for how I felt, for what was going on inside of me. Because I felt like I couldn't be me. I felt like I couldn't live the way I wanted to live because of this person's presence in my life. Because if I was to go and do this, this person would freak out and then it would cause a fight and there'd be difficulty and challenge. And I felt like I was just stuck and trapped in that entire thing. Now, ultimately what happened for me, and it took a great deal of strength and power and there was a lot of difficulty and challenge around it, and I should have just cut it off sooner, but I ended up cutting the relationship off. Now, I no longer blame that person for the way that I felt, but even at that time, when I did cut that relationship off after years of experiencing anxiety and panic attacks, even when I did cut it off, I still had the feeling, I still had the blame and the shame in regards to that person. I felt like there was just no way that I could live the life I wanted to live with this person in my life. No choice, no chance, no power over who I was and what was going on in regards to being able to make a decision to do something and do that. Because I felt that no matter what I did, it was going to create a problem for this person. And guess what? In a lot of cases it did. Because this person didn't want me to go out and do the things that I wanted to do. They wanted me to do the things that they wanted me to do. So there was always a pushing and pulling and a great deal of struggle that was happening all of the time. The biggest recommendation I can make for you is that if you have any relationships like that, you got to get done with them. Or, at a very minimum, You have to call your power back. You have to ensure that you're not giving them the chain so that they can pull it. You want to make sure that they're not pulling your strings. You want to make sure that you're the one who's pulling your chain. You want to make sure that you're the one who's pulling your strings. You have the power to do that right now in this very moment, to call your power back from those relationships. And I highly recommend you do it. There is nothing to wait for. And anything that you perceive that you would lose by calling your power back in those relationships, anything that you would perceive, anything that you think that you might lose as a result of those relationships, nope. It is not loss. It is not loss. What it is you getting your life back. That is you accepting responsibility for what goes on inside of your life. And if these people, these relationships, if these environments are not healthy for you, you got to get done with them. Now, if getting done with them means you becoming bigger so that they're no longer an issue for you, that's the biggest thing I recommend. Failing that, if that's not something that you're able to do at this particular moment, like I was not able to do for me when I ended that relationship that was difficult and challenging for me, I just had to get done with it. I had to get out. So I left. I ended it. And I highly recommend that you do the same thing. Ultimately, what happens is that whatever is going on that's consuming your power, that's consuming who you are, that's consuming your life energy to live and be and do and have the things that you want, if there are those things that are just gutting you, you got to get rid of them. You have to get rid of them, or you have to become bigger than they are so that they no longer have the power to pull your strings. And you have the ability and the power to choose what happens in your life. And if you give other people that power, then they'll continue to control the things that happen in your life. So do it now. Do it today. There's nothing else to wait for. I hope today was helpful. We'll talk to you soon. Make it happen. Okay.